Hi everyone, so I'm going to do a reading wrap up for July. This is the second time I'm having to film this video, so we're going to try this again. So I read 11 books in July and made a huge dent into my physical TBR. I was reading Kindle as well, still reading on my Kindle, which you can see is up here. So yes, it's warm in Britain. Warm in Britain. That's a new thing, isn't it? This is our 1 week of summer. Me and chronic illnesses and heat, not a good mix. So yes, I'm filming this. I'm going to try and get these two videos. I've got this one and then another video lined up to film. And I'm going to try and get these two done in this weather, and then hopefully as the weather settles down I can get just some more scrapbook ones as well. But I'm going to do this August reading wrap up. One of these I am not going to do the full review on. I'm just going to let you know what it is, what I rated it, end of that. I'm going to do the synopsis now in this because I've noticed a lot of people do that and I've never done that. Because the book that I'm going to just tell you what I rated it is actually for an entirely different video for the future, which you'll see when I finish reading those books. It's not a reading vlog, I cannot be doing reading vlogs, but it's kind of like a reading wrap up book for that kind of thing, but you'll see when that actually comes out. You might get it when you see, because there's two types of them, you might get it when you see the whole that I'll be posting. But anyway, so I'm going to start off with a Kindle book that I read called The Teacher by Freida McFadden. It's about two teachers, one's a maths teacher, one's an English teacher. It's a thriller, and it involves teacher-student relationships, about this young girl called Addie, and like she can't be trusted, she tells lies, she hurts people, she destroys lives kind of thing. I gave this 4 stars. It had a few plot holes, but it did, like, you know, keep you guessing. As per usual, everything's on my phone on Goodreads. Forgot to mention that. Has all of its twists and turns that you would want in a thriller. There's some questionable things that happen that make you kind of rethink Eve's attitude, but then she does something that makes you re-question everything again, and then you end up disliking her. Well, I did. So yeah. The second one I finished was Madly Deeply, the Alan Rickman Diaries, which is edited by Alan Taylor. So this is an entire 25-year passion project of Alan Rickman's, where he like invites readers backstage to indulge in like the behind the scenes and sensibility, his life, things like that. Harry Potter series is mentioned in this as well. So it's like the friend, the traveller, the fan, the actor, the director, the enthusiast, and in short, the real Alan Rickman. Here's a life fully lived, all detailed and intimate, and characteristically plain spoken in prose. I gave this 5 stars. It's just incredibly enlightening and beautiful. It's just a lovely insight to this man's life and the kind of person he was and what his friends thought of him and that kind of thing, what people thought of him. So yeah. Yeah, so I read that. Then I read Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. This is retellings of Norse. God, it's shiny, isn't it? This is retellings of Norse myths. It's like the tale of dwarves, frost giants, treasure, magic, Asgard, home of the gods, Odin the Allfather, Loki, Thor, Freya. It says Freya on the back. I'm sure it was Frigga though. You win some, you lose some with Nebs. Hey-ho. I did read this at the beginning of the month. I gave this 5 stars. It was just such a modern flair on the stories. I was in it for Loki, as I always am with Norse. I love anything like that. I like religion, but I'm not religious. I like the kind of storytelling they hold. But each of these stories had the best moments. It was great with chronology, with ending at Ragnarok, and how like the stories follow on from one another, and it just shows how writing of the past has influenced the writing of today. You will see some unhauls in here, not necessarily for bad reasons. That might just be one, not necessarily for a bad reason. But yeah. So third, I said that. This one is an unhaul, technically fourth book, but I've lost count already. Never mind. The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. The second book in the Maze Runner series. Can I do a synopsis of this? This is phase 2 of what after they escape the maze. There's your synopsis. I'm not spoiling anything, in case you haven't actually read the first one. Just want to see him leave the maze. I hope you've seen the film. Film, way better. I gave this 3 stars. It just was filler. It lacked everything. It just lacked. Lots happened in it, but it just lacked the action that was actually needed. I don't recommend this at all. The characters do have human qualities, like Newt. He's a very well fully fleshed out character, and I do love him. But things seem to just play into Wicked's hands way too perfectly in this. Yeah, this is gone. Gone. I have the last one, and then I have the prequels. I was considering just unhauling the whole lot, but I've watched the films. I'm going to finish it out. Then another unhaul, but it's not for a bad reason. It's just I don't often keep autobiographies by celebrities. I read Look Who It Is by Alan Carr. I mean, what is there much of a synopsis I can give for this? It is literally Alan Carr's life. There you go. I think if I gave a synopsis, I'll give too much away. This was a 4-star. Didn't hit the 5-star mark, but it's a 4-star. Very upbeat. Even about situations that can be found strange, bit bizarre, bit emotional. Quite upbeat, man. I love the anecdotes about his career and how he actually became famous. He lived in Manchester for a bit, which is the nearest city to where I live, so that's pretty cool. And he just comes across as a genuinely nice guy. But I don't often keep biographies if I'm not going to reread them. I wouldn't ever think about rereading this. This is going. But a good book overall. Then I read, which I have actually bought a physical copy of this, but I'm not showing it. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. So this is about the adopted human daughter of the Nightborn Vampire King. So her only chance to become something more than prey is enter the Kajara. I've butchered the hell out of that. Which is a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death. But winning won't be easy amongst the most vicious warriors of all 3 vampire houses. So, in order to survive, she's forced to make an alliance with Ran. Rain? How the hell do you pronounce his name? He's a vampire, an efficient killer, and an enemy to the crown. And then it's a romance, dark magic, bloodthirsty. You get the gist. It's recommended for fans of Court of Thorn and Roses. I don't like Sarah J. Maas's writing, so I never read that because I read Throne of Glass and hated that. But this, I gave 4 stars. I wanted a copy of this so bad. I had to buy it. It's got a fairly complex political system with a ruling class of vampires, which allow for this world to be highly plot-driven. I loved it. I love the plot. And with the trials and they follow, and it's just so gripping. I read it in such a short space of time as well. The complex relationships give it more than just a juicy romance plot, it gave the characters depth. I will go on to talk about the second one in a bit. This is where my opinions change. So Araya and Rain are great depth together, and Araya on her own had a lot more depth than Rain did with the backstory, but opinions differ. So then I read Suddenly a Murder, another thriller. I'm reading my thrillers now. By Lauren Manuzzo. That lovely name right there. This one. Got this from the works. This was in my advent calendar. Don't ask. Suddenly a Murder in an advent calendar. I do book advent calendars. I did do last year, actually. So this is about everyone has a secret, everyone has a motive, but only one of them brought the knife to a party. So they go on a luxury 1920s themed getaway to a manor, glamorous manor. They party in a vintage dresses, secrets are spilled and scandals unfold. And it's all fun and games. I'm not going to spoil it, even though it says it in the synopsis. Yeah, I'm not spoiling that. I gave it 3 stars. The murderer became very obvious very quickly. It's not even a long book as well, so it was very obvious very quickly. And I expected more of a 1920s style than this actually had to offer, because I mean, when you actually look at them on the front cover, they don't even look like they're in 1920s style clothes, and that's disappointing. And Marlowe in this is the only, compelling character at all. So this is going. Gone. I'm on haul thrillers anyway, because once you've read a thriller once, you don't tend to read them again, unless it's a very special thriller, then I might keep it. So, another Kindle, Before You Sleep by Adam Neville. So these are a trilogy of short horror stories. There is a book called Some Will Not Sleep, which is the first one. I never read that, I just read Before You Sleep. It's just nightmarish visions, ghastly spectres have been disturbing the sleep of readers for years. You'll find 2 ghost stories and tale of ancestral demonic horror. So, I read this. 5 stars. Amazing. Excuse me. My favourite was the story called Ancestors, surprisingly, and it was about a little girl and her ghost friend. It was very based in Japanese folklore. But they all seem very reminiscent of childhood and that kind of nightmarish theme, so it was really good. Right, the next one I am not going to. So, I'm going to mention it, tell you the name. The Way Out by Alan Gordon. The revolutionary scientifically proven approach to heal chronic pain. I give this 5 stars. This is for a different video. I will go into why I gave it 5 stars. Also, tabs. Rare for me. No. Then, I read Dear Evan Hansen. High school senior Evan Hansen has always struggled to belong. But when the notoriously troubled Connor Murphy took his own life, he did so in possession of the letter Evan had written to himself. Now, everyone thinks they're best friends. I'm pretty sure if you actually have seen the musical, you know how this goes. I watched the film for the musical, I haven't actually seen it live. I desperately want to see it live. This book, though, does not do it justice. The comedy fell flat. Literally fell flat. It's an awkward, bloody conversation. I gave this 3 stars. This is going. 3 stars is a very generous rating. I wish I could have rated 2, but no. So, but the mental health struggle was written fairly well. Very honest. Other characters are very underdeveloped. It just didn't seem fulfilling enough. The musical's more fulfilling than this. So that's going bye-bye. And I've had that on my shelf. I've had that on my shelf since I was in high school. Move the 3 that I'm actually keeping on to the side. It'd be easier. But yeah, that's going. My first and only DNF of July. The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King. I told you my opinions would differ. I gave this 2 stars. I got 50% of the way through. That's why I've rated it. There is no plot. Zilch. Zero plot at all. Not a single piece of plot in 50% of the book. Please, I would like Krista Broadbent to explain that. Araya lost every single piece of her character development. Like, all of it went. And Rain had not been given anything further. No backstory, no nothing. And the villains, they weren't threatening. I looked at them and thought I could flick them with my finger and it would not do anything. Yeah. So, that is what I read in July. All 11 books. So, currently reading. It's a very short list on here. But I will actually tell you because I've got stuff lined up. So, Persuasion by Jane Austen is my audiobook, which I'm actually nearly finished with that. I've only got a couple chapters left to go. So I've got to say I've got about maybe 4 hours of it. So, nearly finished with that, and it's alright, not the greatest, but it's okay. I've got Daisy Jones and the Six as my physical read. That's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Ironically, her last name is Reid. It's quite funny. And then for my Kindle read, it's the Rhapsodic, I believe it's called. It's the first one in the Bargainer series by her name actually escapes my brain. Laura? Hang on. We're gonna find out. What did I say? Laura Thalassa. There we go. Laura Thalassa. I've butchered that. I have another one of those series actually. I have the Four Horsemen. But yeah, I'm going to start reading that on my Kindle. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading, what I have read in July. I have not made a start on the Kindle or the physical yet. Could have been doing other things, like buying more books instead. But yeah, so I will see you when I do the next one. Bye.